Welcome to the Mihkel podcast. I'm Mihkel. How's your day going? So this is the introductory episode on what the podcast is going to be about. Obviously, it's just going to be me talking, really. Eventually, in the future, I might have guests on, but for now, it's just me. I want to use this episode to basically go over how the rest of the podcast is going to be. So for this episode, I'm going to talk about the what, when, and why. So we'll go over what this podcast is, when I'm going to upload it, and why I'm even uploading it. I feel like that final question is one that is probably most prominent right now. And that is why I'm going to be talking about it most of the podcast, or at least the introductory podcast here. So I'm going to save it for last. The first episode's going to be a little weird because I'm not used to just talking into a mic like this. So hopefully sooner or later we'll get more used to this and try and move into this. Like, understand the environment. First off, I think we should go over what this is. Of course, it's a podcast, yes. But it's a look into me. That's why I'm the name of the podcast. Yeah. I didn't mean for this to be in a narcissistic sense, more in I just happen to be the canvas for this. I am the canvas for the art that will be displayed here. This podcast will go into the psyche and the idea of what is Mihkel. This doesn't just apply to myself. This is a more general understanding of what it is to be a human. We're gonna work together to understand the psychology of being a person. A lot to go over in the first 2 minutes. I do realize this, but you know what? That's kind of how this is gonna roll. I have no clue what this is gonna wind up to. It could be short, it could be long. I have no clue how long this will be. But let's take a moment to smooth into this. I think for simplicity, we should start off to the when portion of my explanation. I'm hoping to release an episode on Friday every week. That's my idea. Like, I start recording on Wednesday and Tuesday, and then edit it on Thursday, and then able to publish it by Friday. That is the idea. If something occurs that makes this not possible, not my fault. I mainly wanted to do this because, well, I've gotten suggestions by people, and I think it'd be interesting. It gives me something to do and helps better understand not just me, but people. I said this before, but it's not an exploration into me only, but more of an exploration into what it is to be human. I may be the main person that's talking here, and I'll be using the perspective of myself, but everything I say can be applicable to anybody on this earth, because the thing is, I'm a human just like all 8 billion people who are on this planet. So by understanding me, you're not just understanding me, you're understanding a human. Or at least that's the idea. I don't know what it actually is going to turn out to be. You know, I don't know. So let's go to the why now. This is going to be a crazy yap session, I just realized. Why I wanted to do this is because it's like I said, I've had people say I should do something like this, and I think I have enough knowledge or insight onto something, at least, to produce something that's worth listening to, hopefully. I've always wanted to help with something, anything really, and by being able to help people by making them understand the world around them, hopefully that satisfies what I want from life. What I want with helping people on this planet. And if I'm unable to do so, well then shit, I guess. That's unfortunate. But if I am able to do that, that's good. That's exactly what I want. So please, I want you to tell me at the end of this podcast if I've even helped a little bit. And maybe if I don't do it today, eventually I'll say something that's worth remembering. Another question I think is also going through y'all's heads right now is why you do not see a person, only a screen with random images appearing based on what I'm talking about and music playing in the background. I don't want to show my face because that defeats the point. The face is the only thing that defines humans. The body is the only thing that gives a separation from each other. It shows differences between humans. It's not what I want. I want to show the human as the idea. This podcast isn't about Mihkel, the person, but it's about Mihkel, the idea. It defeats the point giving myself a physical form to look at, because then you're unable to truly put what I am saying into thought without some form of bias or preconceived ideals based on, not ideals, ideas. I screw up. Even I screw up. It's human. But yeah, preconceived ideas based on who I am. Even if it's subliminal and you don't even realize it, I don't want anyone to put a face to what I'm saying. I want them to take these as words. I want everyone to think about what I'm saying, not about who's saying it. The words are what matter, not me. As well, I've also wanted to create this because, well, we have to help people, to give insight on me, but you know what, just for fun too, you know? I don't want this podcast to be entirely serious. That'd be so boring, and that's not what people are looking for in a podcast. This isn't supposed to be just thinking, it's supposed to be thinking in an entertaining fashion, you know? And with the more this podcast goes on, hopefully the more that not just I fit into recording a podcast, but I hope everyone who's listening is able to fit into just the episode and forget about other stuff and just really think and become comfortable with these videos. Of course, I'm thinking up ahead of myself. I mean, I don't even know how many people are still listening to this at this point. What I may say might be boring to some, and if that's the case, then I don't know what else to say. Damn, I'm sorry. But my idea here is not to get attention with these episodes. It's to get my word out there. And if only one person sees it, so be it. I'm fine with that. But I want people to truly understand something, anything from this. But enough with the sap story. This sounds dumb, right? I'm giving a lot of what I'm wanting to see, but I think I also need to do what most introductions do and really show what this is, right? How does the podcast work? How is it rolling, you know? I mean, I never was good with introductions. Still am not. Introductions are so hit or miss, but once I get into the groove, damn it, I'm really in that groove. I also want this podcast to be genuine. There is no script, no notes, nothing. Everything I'm saying is being said in the moment. So this may lead to some screw-ups, Freudian slips, you know, the average of what you'd expect a novice, really, to do. Because I've never done anything like this. I've never sat down and recorded my voice for up to 40 minutes to create something like this. But I think the screw-ups and low quality is hopefully what adds to the character of this. As well as to why I wanted to create this, I have so many ideas that I constantly think of. I mean, you would not understand. My brain is always working. Holy, I have not turned it off in years. And all of this is becoming wasted space that no one will hear about. Except for my brain, my little brain that will just listen to the weird shit I say. But hopefully with this, other people will be able to hear the weird shit I say. Isn't that what everyone wishes for, is to be heard? And I think the first step into wanting to be heard is making sure you are heard. Now, I don't know how many people are listening to this, probably not many, but at least I'm trying to be heard by someone, anyone really. And this will likely be a story where there's a bunch of episodes that are all extremely long, but nobody is there to listen to them. And if that's the case, then that would kind of suck. But I want to prove something here. I want to create this so that I can show that I'm able to produce something. It's like I've said, I have so many thoughts, and I want all those thoughts to be heard so that the world can hopefully grow on them. As society, the way that we have benefited is by expanding upon others' ideas. For years and years, that's how humans advanced. Took the ideas of others and combined them so that we could have the total accumulation of one specific thing. The road was created so that others could drive. I'm providing a space for open thought, for people to take what I'm saying and expand upon it. Because alone, I can only say so much, but with others taking their voice and applying it to what I am saying to further think, that is what creates advancement. And this sounds crazy, but I actually really like advancement, and I want to see how far humans can go. Because if one person knows something and shares it to another, then that person can share it to another, and then another, and it goes on forever to infinity. I want to leave my mark. I want what I'm saying to be beneficial to those who listen. And if you decide not to listen, then my words are not heard, I guess, and then no one benefits from it. But if they are, then that's a good thing. Again, this podcast isn't solely about me. It's about being a human. The world. You're not listening to just an ego rant about someone being like, oh, this is me. Here's why I'm actually better than everyone. And, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm so cool. And you're so drool. You're not listening to an ego rant. You're listening to an idea. This isn't about Mihkel the human. This is about the human. Because I'm the same as every single person listening right now. And if that isn't food for thought, well then nothing is, I guess. And if you find a way, please tell me how I could expand on something. Because there's times where I drop a topic and don't expand further upon it. And if it is interesting, I'd love to know this. Again, I'm open to criticism, critique, and ideas. Because that's what I want to hear. I want to know how I can further help you. God, I sound like a fucking teacher. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Oh, that is terrible. But it's true. I want to know how I can help so that hopefully what I'm saying is more impactful than it already is. And if it's not impactful right now, well then, once you tell me how, then it will be. because everyone is capable of growth, no matter who you are or where you are. If you put some time and experience into it, then you can become like anybody else. I mean, not everyone is naturally that way, but it is possible to keep up if you have the right resources to keep up. Swimming across a lake is really hard, but it's really easy if you have a boat. And that's what I'm doing in this metaphorical get across the river contest. I'm trying to provide you with a boat so that you can go farther than other people. Because while everyone is swimming, even if you start a mile or a yard behind them, if you have a boat, you can catch up and go farther than them as fast as possible. I'd also like to go back to something I said a while ago that I also want to add on. In the future, hopefully I will get other people on this podcast, because those people are human too. This is direct connection that I can have. I want to be able to bring someone on so I can talk to them, and that hopefully with showing off what is human, we can also show off human connection and how that works. Because this is about the mind of a human. This is the idea of what it means to be a person. And we cannot have that without one of humans' most powerful traits, that being of communications. Communication is how we are able to far surpass all other species. Because if you think about it, animals aren't able to talk to each other as well as humans are. Humans aren't able to just express commands. We're also able to express idea and thought. We're able to have words that are advanced and go further beyond just simple things explaining a matter. What we're able to do is create theory and think far into anything. I think the fact that we are able to even create theory at all is an insane flex of power, and really goes to show what we're able to do. I'm going on a tangent right now. That's mainly how this podcast is going to go, honestly. The first 5 minutes are going to be super weird, and then I'm going to get just soaked into an idea and hopefully further expand thought. And of course, again, this is the introductory episode, so, you know, this episode is labeled episode 0 so that you can get a feel of what it is. You can get a feel of how everything is going to go from here on, and can slowly convert into what we're going to be talking about on this podcast. But also, most of all, I want to have fun, which I'm able to do that. Monkey! Boom. You just saw a photo of a monkey. Hopefully. Unless I forgot to add that in editing, then that was a little weird. But if I did add a monkey, that's pretty cool. Editing here is mainly just going to consist of me going over the podcast, re-listening to it, and then just adding random photos somewhere in between all of the madness. I also like to play different music depending on what I'm talking about. So when I'm having fun, blah, 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 you hear more upbeat music from wherever I get the music from, I don't know. But when I'm talking more seriously, and when we're not in exactly the playful mood, then we get music that also matches the tone. So a lot of thought is going to go into what plays during the background. And hopefully that's exciting. I'm excited about this. This is going to be fun. I think many people have actually done this before, being able to create a podcast just by themselves without sounding insane or mentally unwell. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm both of those things. But, maybe less so. I want to try something new here. That's the main goal of my podcast, is to hopefully try something that isn't out there. And if there is, then I'm simply unaware of it. And that's my fault. But maybe I could use that as a way to further my work and really get to understand what I'm creating here. I told myself at the beginning of the day, when I was like, oh wait, today's recording day, I'm gonna do it, I'm finally gonna record the episode, done, I need to record this. I thought to myself, oh, am I gonna find enough time to create this, to fully fledge this out? Oh man, all my words are just gonna go into like a 5-minute clip. But we're already at 20 minutes here. I'm doing pretty good, damn it. And I do realize that people could probably be listening to this while they're doing something else, and likely half listening to me. But you know what? That's okay, because at least they are listening to some degree. This is just me creating this. There's not much quality, like I said. I mean, I'm praying that this low quality is able to manifest into some sort of charm to the episode, which would be cool. And if all it does is just result in having a shitty episode, well, that sucks. Hopefully, as the episodes go on, I'm able to higher quality and make these videos better. And if I'm not, Also, don't know if you could tell. Likely you can, but I, between recordings, am going to different locations to see how well the audio mixes. So far, the best location for this is just going into the corner and aiming my phone in the air. So that's just what I've been doing. Maybe later I'll find out a better way, and if anyone has any ideas of how I can make this better, then shoot. I'd love to hear your opinions and ideas on this. It also helps with the theme of the podcast. It's not just me creating this. Everyone is creating this. Every single person listening right now is contributing to the podcast or the episode in some sort of way. You're not just a listener. You're a person. You're someone who's taking your time and converting my words into your thoughts. And if you also want to open up your thoughts and share what you're thinking, then I very much encourage that. That is the entire point of this podcast, dude. I'm also taking breaks during recordings because I have a nasty cough right now. So not the best for audio. Unless you just want to hear segments of me going then sure, maybe I'll drop the coughing audio sooner or later. I don't know. God, this is such a weird time to record this, though, because it's Wednesday as of recording this, and then I'll be listening back at this and editing it on Thursday, and then publishing it by Friday. So right now, I am doing a third of the work, which is not even done right now. But that's what's going to be fun, is I'm putting all this effort so that I can hopefully entertain someone. I feel like I'm repeating myself, actually, a little bit with the whole, I want to help people out. I kind of sound like a dick when I say that, not gonna lie. I sound like the typical fake douchebag who's like, yeah, I'm such a nice guy. I like helping people out. When that actually isn't me, because I'm not a good person at all. I wake up in the morning and think how I can ruin people's days. I'm Satan in disguise. I find joy in kicking puppies, stealing candy from children, and stealing old people's canes. I twirl my mustache and go, So really, right now, you're funding a really bad person. Shame on you. But, anyways, yeah, I'm afraid that what I'm saying may be misinterpreted. And if it ever is, then I will immediately try and reinterpret it back to my original, my original idea or intention, because my goal is not to misguide. My goal is to directly express. And if that word is ever misinterpreted, then that would be bad. That would not be good, actually. That'd be very, Future episodes may look really weird, but that's a journey that... Whoa, that was a total tone shift. I'm sorry about that. I hadn't a thought and totally shifted the entire podcast. But in the future, when I am creating new episodes, I'm trying to think while also recording this right now. My way of creating these are going to change a lot, and that's advancement. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of this podcast. I'm taking what I have and I'm furthering upon it so that I can advance. I want to be like the people who are listening, who are taking the words and using that to contribute to thought. I also just want to create good content. If anyone is having bored while watching this, then I am not fulfilling my duty at all. But if you seem to be having yourself a lovely time, well then that's a good thing. I know, that's exactly what I want, sure. My character will be fully explained within further episodes. You will create a deep understanding of me as more information comes and goes. And that's because that's how humans work. We slowly take in information one by one so that we can gather it all together to create one big thing. That's how all stories go. They introduce plot points, mess around with those plot points, and then when those plot points finally tie together, we can bring them all together like money and buy yourself a bag of chips. And if these metaphors are not making any sense to you, you're stupid, I'm not, and I'm going to help you. And to some of you listening who probably didn't know me at all and are now beginning to truly understand me right now, then, shocker, I know. But I won't go too deep because, after all, this isn't an exploration of me. This is an exploration of the idea of me. I won't focus much on my character as much as I will focus on the idea and mindset behind my character. I also want to finish creating this so that I can show it off. I'm gonna be like a little kid showing mommy and daddy their Minecraft build. A word that is thrown around a lot when talking to me is real. And it's happened a lot, and I thought, well, if I can take this realness and I can bring it to other people to relate with them, then I could do something pretty good here. I could take advantage of my connection with people and use that to create some sort of thought and hopefully improve those people who relate and are like, real. And to prove my relatability, I like consuming copious amounts of alcoholic beverages and taking my Toyota 2018 off-roader, V8 engine, suspended tires, and doing 126 miles per hour in a school zone. Because I'm not just a human, I'm a hero. And if you were able to relate to that, like, comment, and subscribe. And keep that bell on for future notifications. Also, if you were able to get that reference, then good on you. And if you weren't, then you're probably every single person listening to this, because that was extremely obscure and not performed very well at all. Also, circling back to the topic of inviting people in the future. I know, once again, I'm circling back to something. It's kind of hard to keep this organized. I know I'm not very good at organization, Many people can attest to that. But further expanding upon that, I do have a general idea in my mind on who I want to bring on, and hopefully they will be willing to do so, because I really think I can create a lot of insight when I bring people along with me. And if not, then I hope I made good content out of it. I'm a deep thinker. It's what I do in my free time. When I'm bored, I like thinking about the world and how it functions around me. And so I bring that on to people, and I create an environment with lots of thought happening. I am also very talented at tone shifting. I'm very good at just suddenly deciding to talk serious like this, and then go on to say some stupid shit. And it's really just a change in tone and volume and verbiage. You know what I mean? And I want to take that and hopefully create a good combination on here that makes the podcast entertaining, but also creates an informational space. Kind of like the Magic School Bus, you know? You know? Magic School Bus. Fucking, I loved Magic School Bus, man. Shit was epic. I learned so much from that. Like, his name was not Rowley. Ralphie. His stomach had white blood cells, and the white blood cells are good, but the blue, wait, there's no blue blood, is there? Wait, no, there isn't. What the fuck am I talking about? I got sidetracked. Basically, I'm like Magic School Bus, the podcast. My name's Ralphie. I am Ralphie, actually. I voice acted him in the original 1994 release of Magic School Bus. I was literally him. I was rocking the green shirt with the red R and the cap that had an R on it, just so that people would understand my name started with a letter R. How we went from talking about human idea and psychology and our advancements to why does Ralphie have an R on his shirt? Who the fuck are you? Do you think you're him, bro? Like, bro was trying to flex the Vlone before Vlone was even created. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting sidetracked whilst bringing up the point that I am being sidetracked. This is terrible. This podcast is horrendous. I wanted to create this for fun, and hopefully that is what I am doing. I also kind of sound like a maniac, because while you're watching this for entertainment, or listening to it, I guess, behind the scenes, what is happening is I am alone, sat in a closet with my phone out, recording what is now 33 minutes of ranting about what am I talking about? But that also helps to the theme, because, well, I'm saying, what am I talking about? What is happening? That's many people's idea. No one has perfect comprehension, and if you do, then your IQ must be very high, and wow, I would love to meet you. But likely, a lot of what I've said just now probably flew over your head, because I know it definitely did mine, and I'm the one saying this shit. Then that's actually a good thing if you're not able to comprehend it, because that's human nature. And hopefully, as more episodes go on, we're helping being able to get that understanding and further make it so that what I'm saying sounds perfectly normal. This podcast grows like the brain does. It's going to start off weak, dumb, and incoherent. But like fine wine, with age will create a more sustainable environment where my words are further conveyed and more complex thought. Because right now I'm just saying whatever comes to head. But sooner or later I'll get used to this, and I'll be able to on the fly think of more complex things. And that's the type of growth that I want to create, because I'm able to do this, and if you're paying attention well, then hopefully you'll be able to do it too. I don't want to be advanced compared to people now. I want to be advanced compared to people back then. I want everyone right now to be on my level. I want everyone to work together to create a perfect comprehension where we are all together with equality in our thoughts. And if someone is able to gather ideas and share it with everybody, then that is also helping with the goal I'm trying to create. Right now, my biggest worry is that people won't actually care and will take what I'm saying and not further expand upon it within their own head and create better and deeper understanding. If someone leaves this and is simply just confused and moves on with their day, then that would suck. Because what I'm doing here is creating food for thought. I'm creating a unlocking of gates to provide an environment where further expansion of advanced thinking and engagement with the idea of critical thought is very open. And I'm sorry, wow, I have been recording for so long, holy fuck. This is also a lesson. Take this very well. This is gonna be so cringe in the future, but I don't give a shit. I don't know. Even every single person can get tired after a while. I'm the one providing so much thought here, and even right now, I am brain frying at the fact that it's been 40 minutes just sat here in this closet trying to provide thought to people. Also, if you've made it this far, then you're actually so cool, because thank you so much, man. For real. Like, you don't know how much I appreciate people being able to finish this whole thing, or just anything, really. Also, if you're shaming me saying that, wow, this guy really just has no friends and nothing else better to do, well, this is actually even sadder, because I do have friends. I've been texted constantly during this recording, but I've ignored them so that I can scream into a closet. So really think about that for a moment. Yeah, I've been telling you to think a lot, but with the most thinking, I want you to put all your thinking energy into the thought of, I've been texted by multiple people that I can talk to, and despite that, I've been sat here for 40 minutes now, just blabbering and yabbering about what am I talking about? What? Dear God, I sound psychotic. Well, I mean, I kind of am psychotic. I don't know. Oh, this is not good. I have just realized that we are still in the why portion of the video, and during this portion, I'm going to talk about what was the nail in the coffin for me to finally create this podcast, actually. I spent like 10 minutes creating this project about how we, as a group of people, need to be more kind to everyone, no matter who they are, because hating on someone for no apparent reason is what holds back growth. But anyway, someone contacted me after I uploaded that video. They saw the video and were like, this is really good. What you have is a ability and a talent to express thought that is engaging. And I thought, you're right. I am able to do that. Thanks a lot. But I took those words and I thought, I could do this, but on a large scale. I received the key to the answer that I wanted, and that was the answer of, well, how do I help people? How do I contribute so that my words can be heard and so that people can get what I'm saying and understand it. So that my words aren't just yaps into a hollow void, but used for comprehension and to further advance thought. And it hit me that I could create a podcast. Hopefully something where my speech is taken and consumed and and used for the improvement and benefit of others. I seem to be stuttering a lot. Oh fuck! I use filler words like and like I'm trying on sounding like a zombie here, with stupid filler words. And again, to further in the point that expansion can be used, I'm hoping that these filler words hopefully go away in the future so that when talking, I get to the point and fully express what I am saying and helping with comprehension. Because this is all practice that I am giving out. This is practicing how to further think, how to have advanced thought. And with advanced thoughts comes advanced speech, because you are able to convert that thought into verbal expressions. And when doing so, you become more respected because of your speech patterns and how you communicate and talk with other people. And I'm hoping while listening to this, you're able to take these speech patterns and apply it to yourself and your thoughts and help with my idea of further expanding critical thought and growth and communication, which has been the goal this entire time, is to help people. I don't just want to help you in the ways that I'm listing here. I want to help you in multiple different ways. These aren't just general topics that could be helped when talking. I want you to take these words and evaluate them and, like I've said multiple times, expand upon them. And if it seems like I am using repetition, then I am. That is very much the case. I am padding a lot. But this repetition is used for emphasis, because that is what this is at the end of the day. This is an introduction video that emphasizes the idea of the entire podcast. What I am expressing and saying multiple times, so that it is not taken as a offhand comment or something that I said at this specific point in the video. This is something that I have talked about during the entire thing. I want you to take that and really hammer the idea of what this entire channel is, so that when you're going into it later, you're prepared and already aware of the environment you're going into, so that you have all the equipment, mentally speaking, to be able to walk into this and comprehend and fully understand and know what you are going into. Because blind exploration is always the issue. You need to know what is going to happen so that you understand what is happening. And that's why no matter what episode you are starting on in the future, then you need to start on this episode. This needs to be your very first episode, because this prepares you. This shows you what this entire podcast is about, so that you can understand more. But anyways, that has been me. It might seem abrupt, but I have looked at the timestamp and I have realized this is a perfect time for me to stop at the introduction video. I think as far as an introduction video goes, this is pretty good. I've expressed a lot of my thoughts and ideas, and everything has gone good. So I'm going to end this off and give my final words by saying, if you've enjoyed this, thank you for listening. If you haven't, give me your criticism. But most of all, thank you, goodbye, and good night.